Okay, so welcome to this video. In this video, I'll show you how you can download and install Visual Studio Code on your Windows 10 operating system. So first of all, open your favorite browser. I'm going to my Chrome, okay, and here in the search bar, type Visual Studio Code, and the first link which will appear here will be from the code.visualstudio.com. So click on it, and after the website opens, you can see here a download option which says that download for Windows stable build. So click on this drop down option, and then here you have to download the Windows x64 user installer. Okay, so you have to download the stable version. Okay, and okay, I'm click on it to start your download, and after clicking on that option, your download will automatically start. So I have already downloaded it, so I will cancel it, and I'll go to my downloads folder, and from there I will run my Visual Studio Code setup. So here is the setup which I have downloaded before. So click on this setup to launch this. Okay, before installing anything, I suggest you to close everything. Close and also I'm closing this Chrome browser, and here when the setup opens, it asks you for accepting some agreements. Okay, so click on this option to accept the agreements, and then click on next, and this is the path that where this setup will install Visual Studio Code on your operating system. So it will require 255 megabytes of disk space. So, okay, so now I'm clicking on next, then clicking on okay, click on next, and then here are some options. Okay, so I would like to check some options here. First of all, I will check this option which says that create a desktop icon, so that I can get a shortcut icon shortcut to open Visual Studio Code on my desktop here. Okay, so and then the other option which I like to other check is add open with code action to Windows Explorer file context menu. Okay, so check this option so that you can open any Python file with the Visual Studio Code, and also this option also, add open with code action to Windows Explorer directory context menu, so that you can open any folder in Visual Studio Code. So I'm checking this option also, and okay, so I am also adding this Visual Studio Code to my path. Later I will restart, and I'm not registering code as an editor for supported file type. So if I'll register this, every Python file on my system will open with Visual Studio Code. So I'll check this much options, and then I will click on next, and here it is giving some description that it will do these tasks. Destination location is this, under my C, then under my users, then okay, app data and local, then programs, and then okay, Microsoft Python is also installed under programs only, and then start menu folder will be this, and additional. Okay, so just click on install to begin the installation process. Okay, viewers, you can skip this part of video if you want to. Okay, as you all can see that Visual Studio Code has been installed on my Windows 10 operating system, and here a shortcut has been added to my desktop with Visual Studio Code. Okay, I will, I will leave this launch Visual Studio Code option checked so that it will open Visual Studio Code for me, and I will click on finish. After Visual Studio Code opens on your system, it will look somewhat like this. Okay, I have previously installed Visual Studio Code on my system, so that's why it is looking like this. Okay, I will just close this folder, and now uh, if you have installed VS Code on your system for the first time, then when you will open your Visual Studio Code, it will look like this. And you can see some recent items on my screen as I have opened these projects before, but if you have installed it for the first time, nothing will appear here. Okay, so first of all, I would recommend you to click on this option which says interface overview. So this will give you a overall introduction to Visual Studio Code, and will tell you some options also, like to toggle integrated terminal you have to press Control plus backtick. Okay, so okay, let's move forward. First of all, you have to open a folder. Okay, okay, I am opening a folder from here. Open folder, click on open folder, and I have, okay, for you people, I am making a new folder here. Okay, let's say this folder as VS Code projects. Okay, and select this folder, and when you will select the folder, it will open that folder for you. Like here I can see that as I named the folder VS Code projects, and it has been opened in my Visual Studio Code. And here are some options which you can see that this is the file explorer, folder explorer, and from here you can search for anything in your uh, file code, in where you write code in your editor. And this option is for git so this is not useful for any beginner. Okay, so and moving on to the next option, we can see here a debug option. Okay, so here you can debug your programs. And okay, so the last one here, this is the extension market. And now to create our first Python file, before creating our first Python file, here you have to make sure that your this Python extension is null. You can I can see this here, but you can also search for Python extension here by Microsoft. But as in my system, it is already installed. But if you are installing it for the first time, if you are installing VS Code for the very first time, you have to install it. Okay, so now I am going to create a new file. Okay, I'm closing this extension tab from here. Now what do I name my file? Okay, I will name it as main.py. And as you can see that the editor has opened a Python file in front of me where I can write some code. Okay, so and you have to make sure that at the bottom of your uh, VS Code, you can see some text which says that Python 3.8.2 64-bit. Your system will automatically detect that where Python is installed on your system, right? So in my system, I have installed Python in under my C. Then inside a Python folder, I have already shown how to install Python in my previous video, so you can go and watch that video also. If it not detects automatically Python on your system, you have to specify your path here. So okay, uh, now I will write here some code to show you. Okay, so I am writing like okay, I will make a function, define first program. Okay, now for when if you are a beginner and you have installed VS Code on your system for the first time, you will not get a run option here. So because I am getting this option because I have installed an extension for that, you can run this program. I think you will be you people will be having a green colored play like button here. Uh, you for the first time you have to run your program like this, run Python file in terminal. So when you will click this option, your Python oh, I have not called the function here. Okay, so let me call the function here. Oh, okay, now it will give some output here, run Python file in terminal, and see hello world has been printed on my terminal. Okay, so to have this option, to have a run option here on the top of this VS Code window, uh, it also have a shortcut for running your code, like control plus alt plus n. By pressing control plus alt plus n, you can run your code. Okay, let me press control plus alt plus n. Okay, as you can see, hello world is printed again on my terminal. And okay, now I will show you how to have this option on your VS Code. Okay, so for that you have to go to the extension market and you have to search here for code runner. So you have to install this one, which is made by June Han. So here I have also installed this, or I have already installed this extension also, but you have to install this extension by clicking on an install button, which will appear here on your screen. So after installing this code runner extension, you will get a option for running your program here, but that option will run your program under this, under the output section. And this output section is only a read only editor, so you cannot give any input in through this output if your program is running in this output section. Okay, so for running your program with that, with this uh, extension, with this option which is made available through as extension, you have to we have to make some changes in the settings of code runner. Okay, so I'm going to my settings from here, and here from here I can open settings. We can also open settings by pressing control plus comma, and search here for code runner. And when you will search here for code runner, okay, you will get settings related to the code runner extension. So first option which I have checked, and all you have to also check that, which says here clear previous output. This will clear the previous output where whenever you will run your code. uh, you can do this to avoid all the clutter. If you will get some error, then you can avoid appearing again and again that red colored scary text. Okay, so I'll check this option so that I can clear my previous clutter. Okay, every time I run my code. And then if you will scroll down, okay, let me hide my terminal. To hide to close your terminal, you have to press control plus backtick. Now if you will scroll down here, Okay, you can see some options. Yeah, okay, so this is the first option which I have changed in my VS Code. You have to check on this option. In your system this will not be checked. Okay, so we have to check this option which is that run in terminal. So this will run your code inside your terminal in this section. Okay, so this will run your code in terminal. And the some other options which I would like to check here is save file before run. Okay, so whenever you will click on this run button, or you will press Ctrl plus Alt plus N, which is the shortcut for that, uh, it will save the file before running your code. Okay, so you have to check these options which says save file before run also. So these were some settings with this code runner to make your code running process easy. Okay, now so after you will check this, all check all these options, you close the settings tab. Okay, let me review once again all the settings. Clear previous output, and then run in terminal, and save file before run. And I'd like to show you another very useful another very useful feature, which is like you can make your text bigger. I mean, you can zoom on your editor by pressing control and scroll your mouse wheel. Like I'm using control plus mouse wheel here to make my text on my screen text big. So for that also you have to go to settings. Okay, here it is very difficult to find some settings. Okay, so every time I search for settings, so search here for mouse wheel. So this option will appear on your screen also, that which says that editor and mouse wheel zoom. So zoom the font of the editor when using mouse wheel and holding control. So I mean, you can hold control and then move your mouse wheel to zoom the font on editor. So check this option also. And here many people have a doubt that what is this user settings and workspace settings. So user settings are those settings which are implemented in your whole VS Code. In user settings will be implemented in any of your project, and workspace settings are those settings which will be only implemented in your specific project. And all the settings in VS Code are stored in a JSON file. So like if you want to view the JSON file here, so you can click on this option to view the JSON file. So here you can see as that whichever options we have checked are true here. Editor mouse wheel zoom true. Okay, so close this, and close the settings tab also. And this was all how you can install oh okay, VS Code on your Windows 10 operating system. You can run it from here, run your code from here also, and by pressing Control plus Alt plus N also. Right, so we have completed our installation. And one more thing I would like to tell you all, that if you are installing VS Code for the first time, it will ask you for Python linter. Okay, it will give some pop-ups here to install linter. So you can also install linter from the option which that pop-ups also gives the option for installing Python linter. Okay, and you can also install pylint from your command prompt by using pip. So uh, if I will when you will write here pip install pylint and press enter, I am getting a requirement already satisfied because I have already installed it. But in your case it will install pylint, and after installing that, when you will restart your code, it will not give any it will not give any pop-ups for installing linter. Okay, so this was how you can all how you can download and install VS Code on your Windows 10 operating system. So this was all for this video, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Do comment your opinions and give a thumbs up there. Bye bye.